再婚なんかする必要ないよ。
That was the first thing I said after I got home. My father looked stunned. He noticed the sad tone in my voice. In realizing that I didn't agree with the idea of his remarriage, he looked down.
無理もないよな。レイナの気持ちもわかるよ。事前にレイナにもよく相談。
プロポーズなんて取り消せばいい。
あんな女なんて言い方しちゃダメだ。リナさんは
本当のことを話す。あの女とテツという男は二人組の悪人。我が家の財産を狙ってお父さんに近づいてきただけ。
My father didn't get it right away, of course. He looked upset instead because I called her that woman. I should have chosen my words a little more carefully, but I think I told him the truth clearly enough. I told him everything I heard and saw at the coffee house. As I expected, he defended Rina anyway. I was upset, but at the same time, it made me certain that there was no other way than to kill her. I felt the pressure on my shoulders lessen for some reason. My father thought he needed my approval for his remarriage, so he held back his anger and put a fake smile on his face instead.
なあ、レイナ。もう一度ゆっくりとお父さんたちと話し合おう。そうすればきっと分かってくれるから。
A tamed animal is still tamed, even after the owner is dead. That's okay. I'll open the gate anyway. Even a tamed animal will notice one day that he's no longer in captivity. That's not something that I could teach him. He had to realize it on his own. I couldn't stand his fake smile anymore, so I left the living room. Time healed the pain from the divorce. Time heals any kind of pain, just like how dripping water will eventually bore a hole through solid rock. I did what I could. Now I'd have to wait. But the day I was going to wait for came earlier than I expected. At midnight of the following day, we had a visitor. It was that Techan man. Intense music. Hold on, I gotta plug in these headphones. They're beeping at me that their battery's low. There we go. Teppy Hojo. Yeah, it is. Okay, so it is him. Teppy didn't even knock on the door to get in. He broke into the house by smashing the window. At first, I thought he came here to ask us about Rina's whereabouts, but I was wrong. The real reason why Teppy came here was because it was their plan. Was it part of the plan for her to die too? It was the last stage of their Badger game. Rina was probably supposed to be in bed with my father at that time tonight. Teppy must have wanted to show up and catch them sleeping together. Teppy looked around the house, but he couldn't find Rina. He didn't change the plan though. He grabbed my father by his collar and started yelling threats. He showed my father a certificate of marriage to Rina and shouted at him saying, "You got my wife pregnant, how are you going to take responsibility?" My father had no idea she was married. He looked shocked. My father is a short guy who's faint of heart. He just let Teppy do and say whatever he wanted from beginning to end. I looked at them from a distance coldly. The more Teppy yelled and threatened my father, the faster he'd wake up from his bad dream. This was a medicine for him. Teppy was cutting out the cancer that I was going to depend on time to do, and he was doing a great job of it. I waited to help my father until I was sure that he'd finally awakened from his bad dream. I told Teppy that I had something very important to tell him, and took him outside.
なんじゃい重要な話っちゅうんは。
リナさんって昨日以来沖宮に帰ってますか？実はリナさん事情があって隠れてるんです。
あ？どういうこっちゃ？
リナさんから鉄平さんが来たら連れてきてほしいと言われてるんです。
Good plan, Rina. Two birds with one stone, or lead pipe, I should say.
あ？リツコのやつどうしたの？
Teppy followed me without hesitation. We walked in the dark with a flashlight to the place where nobody comes and nobody can hear us. The place forgotten. He asked me many things on the way, but I couldn't answer any of them. I just told him to ask Rena. The way I said it seemed to make him think that Rena was going to betray him and get married to my father for real. Even though he was breathing heavily in a rage, he walked right behind me without any suspicions. And I mean, why would you? Expecting a small child to brandish a lead pipe against you? Not really. I knew this day was going to come very soon, so I was well prepared for it. We reached the place where I originally planned to bring him, and I turned off the flashlight all of a sudden.
どうしたんね?
Everyone gets nervous when the only light in the dark goes off. But this is my territory. I didn't need any light. I could feel my surroundings even better with my eyes closed. I grabbed the big hatchet I'd hidden in a bush and lifted it up high.
ごめんなさい。電池の接触不良かな。ちょっと待ってくださいね。
はよせんとね。
I purposely sounded weak and helpless while I raised the hatchet into the air.
ライターあるわ。出すんね。
Teppy found a lighter in his pocket and lit it up. He probably couldn't understand the sight illuminated by that small light. He saw a girl lifting up a big hatchet right in front of him.
Huh?
Teppy's eyes went wide. He didn't understand what was going on, but he understood that his life was in danger. And yet, he must have not been able to think fast enough to deal with it, even though he understood what he should do. Even if he could think fast enough and blocked his head with his arms, it wouldn't have meant anything. I knew Teppy would come to my house eventually. That's why I prepared for that day. I just didn't think that preparation was going to bear fruit tonight. I chose my weapon very carefully. I planned when, where, and how I was going to attack him. And so, there can be only one result. Chop! The hatchet cut deeply into his forehead. I felt an indescribable vibration through the hatchet when it hit him, and this told me I broke his skull. He bragged about how good he was at fighting at the coffee house, but he sure went down quickly when faced with a murderous weapon. He was done in by a single blow. Teppy slowly fell to his side with the hatchet in his forehead. Kinda gotta feel bad for Teppy. He's the second time we've killed him off. He looked like a victim in a B-movie. I killed this big guy with just one hatchet. He was probably quite experienced in the world of violence. But I was better than him when it came to killing. Why? Because I've killed someone before. It's all done now. The bad people who deceived my father and tried to rob him blind are all gone. I did what I had to do in order to protect my life. If I had this much courage and determination when my mom told me about the divorce, I might have killed Akihito. If I did, I would have taken the life of only one. Because I couldn't do it back then, I've had to kill 2 people in the last 2 days. Rena, let's finish it up. It's time to kill your father. There's already a place to hide his body. I took care of everything. My hands were wet, so I shone the flashlight at them. I thought it was blood, but it was just sweat. Even so, I still felt uncomfortable, and shone the flashlight at my hands several times. I did all this in order to be happy. I did all this, so I should be happy now. I tried so hard that I got blood on my hands, but not really, it was just sweat. I wanted to get credit for that from him. Oyashiro-sama, let me ask you a question. I can finally rewind the time back to the day everything started to go wrong, can I? I'm going to stay in Hinamizawa. I'm going to live happily with my father forever. So, you know how I just let you leave the house with that crazy old man and didn't do anything to chase you down or stop you, and you've come back and the crazy man's gone? Like, what happened? It's rare to see Ren asleep in class. She isn't the kind of girl who sleeps in class because of staying up so late. She had to be tired from doing housework or something. Everyone seemed to be thinking the same thing. Nobody tried to wake her up, not even Chi-sensei. She got up for a few seconds and went back to sleep. She swayed back and forth like she was rowing a boat. But she's in class, so I should wake her up, right? I was about to wake her up, but before my hand touched her, Mion gave me a sign not to.
寝かせてあげなよ。たまにはそういう日もあるよ。
それもそうだな。
I heard a few days ago that Rena lives with her father. She studies during the day, plays a lot after school, and does things around the house after that. I didn't know that. I also didn't know her mother had divorced her father. Mion told me that, and she also told me not to talk about it because Rena is still hurt by the divorce.
そんな苦労をしてるなんて全然気づきもしなかったぜ。
レナはそういうのを表に出さないタイプだよね。ひょっとすると普段陽気に振る舞っているのもそういう風に意識して振る舞っているからかもね。
Rena told me that the happy days will one day come to an end. She told me she knew that firsthand. What could she have been through? I had no idea. That's probably why she tried to spend as much time as peacefully and cheerfully as she could. I must have hurt her feelings when I said I was bored of having happy days. When I thought about it, I felt bad for living off my parents, who are both healthy and happy. For that matter, Satoko and Rika-chan lost their parents too. And on that note, actually, it looks like Rena's dealt with Satoko's, uncle problem as well. So that's kind of cool. Mion lives with her grandmother, away from her parents, because she needs to learn to be the head of the Sonozaki family in the future. When I realized all of that, I felt bad about my situation.
別にケイちゃんが両親と生活してることを申し訳なく思うことはないよ。
Mion seemed to have read my mind. She said it with a cool expression on her face.
確かに家族ってのは生まれてきた子供である私たちにとって言ってもね、コミュニティは家族だけじゃないんだよ。
仲間か。
分かってるじゃん。
俺たちはレナにとって家族に負けないくらいの存在なんだろうか。
掃除洗濯、炊事に買い物、それに疲れて昼寝だけして過ごすことだってレナにはできるんだよ。でもレナはそれをしない。放課後の時間いっぱいを私たちと部活をして過ごす。それはつまりなんて言えばいいのかな。そう、仲間ってことなんだよ。
レナにとっては家族と同じくらいの意味のある仲間ってことなのか。
Excuse me. Oh, Mion looked stunned. As if she didn't understand what I was talking about.
ああ、ケイちゃんが今日まで仲間って言葉をどういう意味で使ってきたか知らないけどさ、仲間ってのは家族と全く同格じゃないのかな。
難しく考えることではないのですよ。
Rika-chan joined our conversation.
居場所があればいいのです。それがある場所を家族と言ったり仲間と言ったり、呼び方が少し変わるだけのことなのですよ。
リカちゃんにとって家族と仲間は同じものか。
僕はそうだと思っていますです。 サトコもミーも、そしてレナもそうだと思いますですよ。
だから私たちはいつも一緒にいようとするんじゃないかな。
リカちゃんはみんなといると寂しくないか？
みんなは家族なのです。寂しくなんかないのですよ。
Mion nodded in agreement. Satoko was talking with her other classmates, but I'm sure she would nod as well. Rena would too.
俺ちょっと恥ずかしいよ。今日まで俺仲間って言葉を使ってきたけどさ、本当の意味で理解してなかったと思う。仲間ってのはもっともっと大切でかけがえのないすげえもんなんだよな。
それすっごく当たり前のことだからさ。もし今日まで分かってなかったなら、よく胸に刻んだ方がいいよ。
そうだな、そうするぜ。
あとそれを二度と口にしない。今ケイちゃんかなり恥ずかしいこと言ってたと思うよ。
After all that, Mion still made fun of me. I think I understand a little better why Rena was always so serious about having fun. I want to be her best friend, and I want to do my best to be deserving of her effort. Rena snored. It sounded cute. Chi-sensei let her sleep in class, but she couldn't let her get away with snoring.
委員長、リュウグウさんを起こしてください。レーナ、ほらほら。
Look at the eyes of the cute murderer. Rena was still half asleep and made a strange noise. Everyone in the class laughed. Rena noticed they were laughing at her, woke up right away, and acted like she wasn't sleeping at all. It looked really funny, and I burst into a fit of laughter. Outside the window, the sky was blue and the clouds were pure white. It was still June, but it looked like the middle of summer. This perfect weather wouldn't last forever. It could get cloudy and rain all of a sudden. That's why we had to play and raise a ruckus while we still had this perfect weather. The cries of the cicadas sound as if they're laughing at us, because we still have some classes left. Ah, dang it. I can't wait for school to finish.
どうしたんだろう。ケイチ君すっごく嬉しそうだね。今日は何かあるの？
別に今日何かあるわけじゃないぜ。今日は今日だし、明日は明日だろ。今日が晴れてるならそれで十分。明日の天気なんか知ったこっちゃないってことさ。だから今日という日を俺は精一杯遊び倒したい。いつ天気が崩れたって後悔しないくらいに徹底的にな。
I learned that from Rena. I learned that peaceful days are the happiest days you can have, and that they're irreplaceable.
ミオ、今日の部活はなんだ？
We're playing Spot the Murderer.
それに最
It's
近
our favorite game.
罰ゲームがちょいと刺激不足だぜ。
言うねケイちゃん。そこまで言うなら今日の放課後には生き地獄ってやつを拝ましてあげるよ。
ケイチ君、あんまりミーちゃんを挑発しちゃダメだよ。
おいおい、臆すのかよレナ。上等じゃないかよ。また俺たちの実力で大暴れしてやろうぜ。俺とレナの決着だってまだまだついちゃいないんだからな。
I grinned at her and she grinned back.
それもそうだね。よーし、レナも思いっきり頑張るぞ。レナさんには先日の借りがございますものね。きっちり倍返しさせていただきましてですわよ。
いいねいいね。盛り上がってきたよ。
早く放課後になるといいのです。
I couldn't wait either, but the time we spent just talking together is also very precious.
そうだな。早く放課後になるといいな。
And all's well that ends well. As long as you ignore the whole, murdering thing. It's better than Keiichi's murder, though, where he just got, haunted forever, and then I think that story ended with him, falling off a bridge or something. So, yeah. Got the double kill, and got rid of 2 really bad people at the same time. I think we might actually be, good vigilante people here or something. Vigilante justice. Satoko went to join the children playing in the schoolyard. Since I didn't feel like going, I decided to stay at home. Most likely, she wouldn't be back until the evening. When Satoko wasn't around, I had ways of spending time without her. Besides, that was what I wanted to do anyway. I stuck my hand deep inside the pile of winter futons in the closet and pulled one out. Next, I filled a stylish-looking glass with ice. The ice made in the freezer smelled of chlorine, though, and didn't taste very good. Store-bought ice would be the best, but since Satoko kept asking me what I was using it for, I stopped buying it. But it might be worth spending time to think about a good excuse for that, if it meant I would be able to enjoy ice without ever again smelling the chlorine. I filled the glass with mineral water, and then I poured a little bit of another liquid into the glass. Watching the color mix into the transparent water was a very pleasant thing. This wasn't the right way to drink it, but I liked it that way, and I didn't want to hear any complaints. My body is very convenient, because I can get drunk with only a tiny amount. That's why I dilute that small amount with a full glass of water. And thanks to that, I could enjoy a single bottle for a long time. It wasn't bad if you thought about it like that. I put a cushion on my favorite spot by the window, and with the glass in one hand, I enjoyed the familiar view and the soft wind brushing through my hair. A slight sweet ripened aroma tickled my nose. And just when I was about to start enjoying the atmosphere, the annoying one came back. She didn't like this bad habit of mine, and she complained every time I tilted the glass. She started nagging me noisily.
うるさいな。少しくらい我慢なさい。何を飲もうと食おうと、私の勝手でしょ。
ダメなのです。その飲み物はあなたにはまだ早いのです。
But then I told her I was a 400-year-old demon inside of a small kid's body, so it was okay. I tried to ignore her, but she started making a fuss, as if trying to ruin the atmosphere on purpose. There was no way I could enjoy getting drunk like this. I glared at her and threw the drink out the window.
なんで私が憂鬱か知りたい？私の死に方が決まったからよ。
You what? It seemed like she finally understood why I wanted to drown myself in alcohol.
そんなに落ち込まなくてもいいのよ。割と一瞬で死ねるから、そんなに怖くないわ。
My body will be burnt and cut in pieces, but I'll be able to die instantly.
でもまたダメなのです。
そうね。またダメね。これだと私の命日はいつだっけ？
6月の25日の夜だと思いましたです。
綿流しの祭りが終わってからだいたい1週間後か。
やっぱり僕のせいなのでしょうか。
決まってるでしょ。あんた自覚ないの？
She was the one who asked me, yet she cried when I told her she was right. Ah, jeez, she's always so annoying.
頑張りましょう。次のすごろくではきっと 6が立て続けに出てくれることもあるわよ。
June 25th. I still had 10 more days. I was going to relax and enjoy those 10 days. I still had some wine left too. So yeah, that still sounds like the same Bernd Castell, Rika. Though there's the other person who seemed like Satoko, although she didn't sound like Satoko, so maybe that's somebody else. Not sure on that. Anyway, a bit of casual murder later, and our problem seems to have been solved, and there probably won't be any repercussions, and everyone's just going to be happy. Just as Rena wanted. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time for some more Higurashi. Bye!